You're listening to the Chris the Freelancer podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Chris the Freelancer podcast. This is the podcast all about location independence, time freedom, and living life on your terms. Each week we interview a new guest on the show, and today I'm sitting down with Snir Alayof, a former Israeli soldier, now a digital nomad entrepreneur. In today's episode, we talk a lot about dropshipping, living in Thailand, and the pros and cons of running your business on third-party platforms. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 4 with Snir Alayof.
For show notes and more, visit christhefreelancer.com.
All right, I'm here with Snir. How you going, Snir?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, you're looking happy. You got your pineapple shirt on. You're always wearing colorful tops. That's fine.
Yeah, well, I'm a happy person. I'm just like I feel like.
Awesome. So I think I met you, it was about a week ago now that you arrived at Pun Space. Yeah, you'd seen some of my videos and then, introduced yourself to me, told me that you're involved with dropshipping. So I recommended that you check out the dropshipping meetup here. And then the second part is kind of embarrassing because I remember we had this Friday night out where we it was just a blinder. And I don't usually drink too much, but we went out with these Aussies, and Aussies are bad influence. Yeah. It was a good night. And I don't remember much of it, but I do remember, Snir telling me a bit about his story, and then me thinking, geez, he needs to be on the podcast. But
I'm blushing.
But yeah, I can see that. But I just didn't. I don't actually remember what the story was. I just remembered that it was interesting and that you should be on the podcast. So yeah, I'm kind of going in blind here, and I know you've been quite successful with the drop shipping stuff, and you obviously come out here, so it'll probably be some double up on from Friday night, but it's great to share with the listeners. How did you get started in this drop shipping, and is this your first flurry into location independence coming out here?
Yeah, well, I used to be a soldier before I actually started in this digital nomad journey and online business in general. And I just found out about this method of dropshipping things from Amazon to eBay. Yeah. The most classic YouTube video in the world. Just accidentally found it on YouTube. Someone just made a tutorial how to sell things on eBay by taking products from Amazon. So actually I was still a soldier, I think, and I just went and just listed some items on eBay. I had no idea how to optimize listings and all the things I know now. I had no idea, just listed some items. Yeah. And it was a weekend, and then I had to go back to the army. And suddenly I heard one of the days cha-ching out of my phone. I had no idea what is that. I never heard this notification before, so I just took my phone and I saw I actually sold something. Yeah. I made my first money online, which was, for me, it was incredible. It was just, I probably lost money because I just added $15 for this item. And if you calculate eBay fees and PayPal fees, and for me, because I'm from Israel, the transaction fee, because of the currency difference. So I actually probably lost money, but I was so excited, and I said to myself, all right, if I made $3 out of it, I can remember how much was it. So I can make a lot of, I can make thousands out of it.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. That's a common thread with a lot of entrepreneurs is when they make that first sale, it kind of shows you that it's reality, it's a real thing. And even with me, I had a few months ago my first affiliate sale, and then when I saw that, it was just I think it was $15, but I was like, oh wow, yeah, I made a sale, and I went a bit crazy after that. I was like, oh, I should go into building these niche sites and all that, but I just, I was like, okay, sort of, let's not go too crazy here. But the dropshipping stuff, you mentioned that you were, you're from Israel, and is that is this a common thing that people talk about, or is it because I've never been to Israel, it's I guess I would assume that people aren't talking a lot about location independence there. Or
Yeah,
dropshipping.
no, it's not popular at all. Like I'm the early bird, if you call it. But when I said to people that because I make a living online, I can travel the world by myself and just enjoy what the world have to offer.
Yeah.
People just were like, "What, are you going to travel alone?" And I said, "Yeah, there's a huge community of people who do the same in Chiang Mai, so I'm going to join this community." People were like, "Wait, but you travel alone?" Well, like what? People like never heard someone who knows about it in Israel.
So let's take a step back. So traveling solo is an unusual thing in itself in Israel.
Yeah, it's not, because actually after you discharge from the army, like in Israel, when you turn 18, you gotta join the army. It's the law. So everybody joined the army. It's like school. It's like, I don't know, just some phase in your life that everybody has to go through.
A rite of passage.
Yeah, and after when you have to be a soldier for 3 years, and after those 3 years are over, most of the people just, there are a lot of groups, a lot of friends from high school, let's say, that they meet each other again and fly together to South America or something like that. Traveling alone isn't that common. But I just wanted to change the environment, join like-minded people, because I was the only one who's into entrepreneurship. That's what I was into, and I was the only one in my social circle who was into it.
Okay, well, let's dig into the origin story. You saw the video on YouTube, and did you start making a store right away, or did you do? You did a course, right? To start with, or?
So after I saw the YouTube video, I used to buy things on eBay. So just as a buyer, I just listed those. I think it was I don't know, some kind of a toy, like a water toy. I just listed it on Amazon from Amazon to eBay. Yeah. I didn't know anything. I just followed like what eBay needs me to fulfill in order to list this item. So I just did it, and I sold. Now after I sold this one, I actually listed 10 more, and they actually didn't sell. So I said, I was just lucky. What was I thinking? There's no way you can actually make a living out of it. And then I don't know why, I actually my aunt saw me doing listing things on eBay, and she asked me what do I do, and I told her about that. But I said, you can actually make money by listing things from Amazon to eBay, but I don't think I'm going to do it, because I think you can't really make money out of it. And she actually told me she knows someone who makes a lot of money out of it.
Wow.
And I was, what? Like, someone who do the same thing and makes money out of it? Yeah. So I said, maybe I'm missing something. So I heard on Johnny's podcast about David Wu and his method and the course that he has. So I just enrolled this Udemy course, and afterward I just stick with it. I had a choice. I remember that I also purchased the Dropship Lifestyle, and I really had to make a choice if I'm gonna stick with eBay or the Dropship Lifestyle method. Yeah. But I decided I'm gonna stick with eBay because I'm more familiar with it. I think you can crush it. So I just made a commitment to eBay, and now, like, it took me some time, but in the last 3 months, I made at least $2,000 every month.
Nice.
Which is pure profit, and almost everything is outsourced in my business, so I have a lot of free time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw actually one of your posts. It's like, I have too much free time in Chiang Mai. Like, what should I do? Which is a problem I definitely don't have at the moment. Flat strap, getting this podcast out and working and stuff. So I guess that is a good thing about doing the dropshipping stuff and they talk about, there's a course called Dropship Lifestyle and everything. It's a great lifestyle business, right?
Yeah, it is. I read about this in the 4-hour work week, that the people actually make a living while traveling the world, and everything is kind of runs by autopilot, and they don't have to do a lot of work. And since I've read this book, I knew that every business that I'm gonna get into it's gotta fit this criteria. It's gotta be something that will fit my lifestyle.
Yeah.
So this was a perfect fit, the dropshipping things.
Okay. And so you said that you're listening to Johnny's stuff, and what was the motivation starting out? Was it wanting to travel, or was it, I want to make a business online, and then you're like, well, I can do this anywhere? Or what was it? I guess my question is, was it travel motivating you, or having your own business motivating you at the start, or just the combination of both? And where did the 4-hour work week fit into all that?
Yeah, well, to be honest, when I was a soldier, I really hated it. I was a combat soldier. I served in the artillery forces in the army, and I was pretty in. I think I started to fall into depression because I really didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that I have commanders and I have to feed, like every morning I have to shave and brush my shoes and all those things.
Yeah.
And I really hated my lifestyle. I hated the army lifestyle, let's call it like that. And actually, when I've heard that, there is a light in the end of the funnel. There are people who actually lives their lives at the fullest. Like they travel the world, they make money, they enjoy every minute of their life. And I knew that I just need to suffer this 1 year that is left for me to be a soldier, and then I'm gonna do this lifestyle. I'm gonna enjoy the life like the digital nomads enjoy. So this was my motivation.
What was your first thing that you saw that was digital nomad related? Was it a blog post, or the 4-hour work week came out in the shelves, or?
I think it was Johnny. Johnny was the first digital nomad. Like I've read about it in the 4-hour work week, but I didn't know that it has a name. Like I don't think it says digital nomad in the 4-hour work week. So I just found about Johnny by accident, I think, with a simple search on Google.
Okay.
And then it opened my mind to a lot of, to this whole community and the opportunities that are available online.
Yeah, because I asked that question to a lot of people because it was a very distinct moment. I guess that, you kind of become aware that people are working online and traveling, but to have a name, digital nomad, sort of said to me, this is a thing now, it has a name, and it gives you a starting point to look up, to research and to look into stuff. So I guess you just found that sort of stuff, found Johnny's stuff and continued searching for more answers, and
actually then I found your stuff, and to be honest, like I told you when I came here, your YouTube channel really encouraged me to just burn the boats, leave my friends and go to Chiang Mai, join the community. Awesome. It was something like watching your lifestyle was something that I could really relate. I found a lot of comfort when I watched it, like like you gave me the confidence that if I come here, the community will be easy to fit in, and I watched most of your YouTube videos, and you have a tutorial for everything in Chiang Mai, like how to find an apartment, how to meet people, how to work. You have everything is handled in your YouTube channel, so it's very comfort to see that. Yeah,
I was thinking, geez, I should put together some sort of guide to moving to Chiang Mai, because I don't know what it is, but the receptionist here at Pun Space, there was 2 new people that came in today, and I was at lunch at the time, and then I came back, and she was like, you must have been out to lunch or something. I was telling these people that they should talk to you about where to find an apartment in Chiang Mai, and I'm like, am I the guy for that now? Like,
you're famous.
Yeah, no, like I've just made, and people are asking me like, oh, you should do a sequel to the Finding Apartments in Chiang Mai. And I'm like, that was like, I knew people wanted to see that information, but it was a vlog style. Like it was actually what we were going through in a day, and we found our apartment. So, and yeah, I mean, the challenge with Chiang Mai is there's just so many options. Like if you ask me like, where should I hire a bike? Where should I work? Where should I, live? It's really hard to give a set answer. Okay, you live here, you co-work here, you get a bike from here, because it's just there's so much here, and I think that's why it's such a hub. You know, the amount of great places that you can stay here. And where are you staying at the moment?
I just moved today to Hawaii Cow, the apartment building with Adrian and Craig.
Yeah. Is it a good room there, or?
I think it fits my needs at least. It's actually a very good room except for the toilet. You know, I don't know. In Thailand, you have this thing like the toilet is near to the shower.
Oh, you've got that.
Yeah, so you can shower while you pee or something. Never mind.
I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, if you want to go real cheap, you can. Like, there's cheapest I've heard of is like about 3,000 baht. Which is, what's that in US dollars? That's like
that's 300 shekels, which is about $80.
Yeah, there we go. And I think Pat Daly from True Transient, he had this video out, my $80 apartment, and that's the cheapest I've heard of. But I mean, you can go all the way. I think the most expensive one I looked at in my video was $780 US or something like that. Like, it was 25,000 baht. But yeah, there's like, I think, some people think maybe that we're living like really bad, but you get really good value for money. So,
it's amazing. The first meal that I had in Chiang Mai, they charged me for 300 bahts, which in my country is 30 shekels, about, I don't know, less than $10 for a very large meal with beer, and I really enjoyed this meal. And I thought, oh my God, 300 bahts, it's so cheap, I can live here forever. And then I found out places where you can eat for 50 baht, the same things. Yeah, it's amazing how cheap you can get here.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because like 300 baht, I'm just like, you become, I guess, used to it here. And like 300 baht is a lot for yeah. So it's funny you said that it's cheap. But yeah, I mean, yes, food in Australia is really expensive as well, and there's like a really high minimum because the wages are high in Australia, and there's really no bargains when it comes to getting food. But I guess it's all relative to how much you're earning. And
yes, of course. Like I think I spoke about this with someone this week, that I believe that for the Thai people, Thailand isn't that cheap, but because you came from a country which have a better quality of life, let's call it something like that, or better economy. Yeah. You realize how cheap you can get here and how much money you can save with your normal salary.
It's weird, man. Like, when I went to Bangkok, for example, I felt like I was in this parallel universe because it didn't make sense to me how cheap things were, and it's just a big city. It's like, and pretty Western. People are wearing suits there, going to similar jobs, doing similar things, big city kind of jobs that you would do in a big world city. But then you go to the food court and you have meals that are as cheap as what you get here. like 35 to 50 baht meals, which for people listening, that's a US dollar to about $2 Australian. Like,
I think 36 baht is $1. I think
it's about 35 baht to $1 if you guys want to do the math, and 25 Australian to $1. But yeah, it's great compared to, like, I've been to some places, and let's not name names, but I've been to some places where it's quite poor quality, but the costs are actually higher, and yeah, it's mind-boggling to me. But like, yeah, let's not get too much. Every podcast I do, I get in the risk of talking too much about Chiang Mai because it is a great place to come. And I guess when you were choosing what place to come, Chiang Mai was the top of your list because of the community here?
Yeah, definitely. I believe that I make enough money to live from anywhere in South Asia, but I really wanted to meet like-minded people. This was the thing that, in my mind, when I was in Israel, this was the missing step that I need to take in order to get really amazing results. If I could surround myself with successful people, with like-minded people, I believe I could really grow my business and double my income even. you know. So in Israel, I didn't have people who were into it, like I told you. So I thought that Chiang Mai will be the first destination as a digital nomad, just to meet other people.
Yeah. And how have you found it so far? It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I do have a mixed opinion because of the weather here. You know, it's so hot, and suddenly it rains like it's, I don't know, London or something.
Okay.
But other than that, everything.
The heat, actually. Okay. It's hot in Israel, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's most of the years it's very hot. No, I like the heat. I prefer heat than
Being freezing.
yeah, exactly. I used to work actually in Canada.
Ah.
Yeah, and I couldn't stand that. You know, you just freeze. You can't go out. You want to breathe fresh air, and it hurts your lungs when you take it.
Oh,
breathe.
wow. I haven't been to Canada yet, but
Yeah, well, I was in January, I think, so it's kind of a cold season.
middle of winter, yeah. Jeez. All right, cool. So this is your first stop, and after Chiang Mai, you're gonna. What do you think you're gonna do then? Are you gonna explore the world, or are you gonna go back to Israel, or?
Actually, my goal is to get. I wanna fly to the US in 3 months because I know that it's gonna be a Dropship Lifestyle Retreat.
Oh, nice.
In Hawaii, I think it's going to be.
Yeah,
I've heard it in another podcast, so I thought to myself, in 3 months, I wanna build something of my own dropshipping store, and contract to the Hawaii dropship now, which is based on eBay.
Yeah.
I wanna build something which I have more control of. So in 3 months, I'm going to build my dropshipping store and make my first sale and go to the Dropship Lifestyle Retreat to learn even more about that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you just have to be a paid member of the course to go to that, right?
Yeah. I just need to be a paid member, and I believe that the more you engage with something, the more you learn about something, the better you get. Like in every area in your life, even if you, I don't know, an artist, the more you learn about creativity and how to open your mind, the better artist you can get. So I actually read about it in a book called Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
And it says that one of the essentials of becoming a rich man is committing to learning everything about your profession. You gotta learn everything. You gotta be a master in your profession in order to be rich.
Yeah.
So I'm aiming for that.
Yeah, okay. Well, it seems like your motivation was lifestyle, right? And not necessarily, because I mean, you're here for 3 months and you didn't really have any other plans to travel. It seems like you had the lifestyle, I guess, in Israel, but you just want to connect with like-minded people, and that's important, of course, from a friendship perspective and a business perspective as well. And I think a lot of good business relationships come out of social relationships. I'm not a big fan of like networking events, for instance, and the whole like here's my card kind of thing. But I think that and this is a big thing in co-working, and even James Abbott mentioned it when I was down at CoHub, is that that having these kind of informal meets with like-minded people can lead to great things. So I think you're definitely on the right track in Chiang Mai. I mean, it's crazy. It is a whole nother world of people here. Like for instance, I went to a business seminar in Brisbane a while back. And because like I'm so conscious of digital stuff and I work in it, and we're all involved in that here, it just baffled me. But there was this presentation on business, and the presenter said something about podcasts, and somebody put their hand up and said, "What is a podcast?" And that just to me was baffling. And then you come out here, right? And then I was just like, I had to remind myself, okay, wait, the older generation, it is Brisbane. People might not know what a podcast is, but then you come out here. Everyone's launching a podcast, and that was And now when I'm telling people, I'm launching a podcast, I'm like, I know, everyone's got a podcast now, but I got these people like yourself that have a great story that I think should be shared. And
thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, actually, in my opinion, even though there are so many people or launching a podcast, you still have the chance like to connect with your audience, because each person who will listen to your podcast, some will find it useful, some will relate, and some will just won't like it. And but maybe they won't like yours, but they will like they really like Johnny's podcast.
Yeah.
So just by the fact that you're putting yourself out there, you're giving the audience a chance to connect with you.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, that was part of it as well. I feel like my YouTube stuff, it's not very long and it's not very personal. And I'm actually bad on camera, actually. Like, you should see some of the outtakes where I'm just like, a particular story I can remember when we went to Doi Inthanon, and I was just like, yeah, it's green everywhere, and it's fresh air, and it's a nice change from the dry heat of Chiang. It wasn't even as good as that. It was terrible, and I had to re-record it. And Denise, my girlfriend, was just like, "Oh my god," just like. And I guess with YouTube, I edit it in a way that I try to keep it very engaging. But I feel with the podcast format, we can relax a little bit, we can do the longer form, we can have a bit more of a conversation and let our personalities out a bit more. And YouTube, for example, if I'm not engaging people, it's going to affect the videos. Whereas with this, it's a bit more of passive listening. And I guess that's part of the reason why I wanted to do that, is just to give another medium for people to sort of connect and use that. The strengths of each platform. YouTube's very specific. I try and keep it as relevant as possible, get straight to the point. This is more, I guess, conversational. And
it's totally different. Like for me, I'm a huge fan of YouTube videos, especially when it comes to self-improvement, and podcasts. I'm also into it, both of the platforms. And there's a huge difference when you just sit in your home and watching a YouTube video. You do want to see something that is engaging, something that's exciting. You don't want to. I don't know. Maybe some people will, but most of the time you don't want to listen to you don't want to watch two people talk to each other. Even though you can gain a lot of knowledge out of the conversation, you just don't want to watch it. Yeah. So there's a huge difference between how you provide the information, whether it's like a short video, which is very engaging, with music and stuff, and the long conversation which people can listen while they're driving their car or walking out to the gym. So
that's what I do. I'm listening to the podcasts on my walk from home to here in the morning and back. Yeah. Which ones do you listen to?
Actually, I'm listening to Project Life Mastery most of the time, even though it's actually just his YouTube videos, which turns them into a podcast. But I really like the guy called Stefan Polernos. I really like his ideas and everything.
Okay, what kind of podcast is it? I've never heard of it.
Project Life Mastery. It's more of a YouTube channel that the podcast is just a version of the YouTube videos, but only in audio without the video.
Okay, and so who would be a good audience for that? Like, who would you recommend that podcast
actually, you know what's funny? Your friend Adrian, the guy who makes the guy who was crushing it on Kindle. So actually, because I heard the podcast with Adrian and Johnny, the course that Adrian took is the course is of this guy Stefan Polernos. Okay. He's the one who made this course. So listening to his podcast, I found about Stefan Polernos, and now I'm a huge fan of him. I really like all the things he publishes.
Okay, so it's internet business stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's it's mostly Kindle publishing and business in general, not even online, but yeah.
Okay, cool. And I mean, getting into that online business stuff, how did you choose? Even in online business, there's so many different businesses you can go into. And was it just the one that you were exposed to first, the dropshipping method for eBay? Or did you see it as like, okay, well, this is the one that can go passive the quickest? Or how did you choose what business you got into?
Actually, like I said, I just tried. I was desperate for a passive income, for something like, to do something that is out of the box.
Yeah.
And dropshipping was just the first thing that I found. It's like the first love. When you're in high school, you have this crush on this girl, and you think she's the one, and you just want her. But after you grow up, maybe you change your taste in girls, and you only like blondes. And your crush in high school was brunette. So this is you can kind of compare it to online business, when most of the time people just find a business model. They love it in first sight. They're committed to it, and then afterwards they find something which is they can enjoy more. Let's say like Johnny used to be a dropshipper, and now sold his dropshipping store, and he's not doing it anymore. So there is something special when you find the first business model and it works for you, but afterwards you just find something which you can enjoy more.
And is that why I guess you're relating it to your own story, and I guess is that why you're into Dropship Lifestyle? Is that the next stage for you, or?
Yeah, I do look for a way to build something of my own. Like I told you in the beginning of this podcast, I don't like to be relied on eBay in such a way, and PayPal.
Yeah.
Do you want me to share the story, or?
Yeah. So, Snir's been having some issues.
Yeah, well, it's funny because my goal was to make $3,000 passive income, which I was so close to. I actually made it. I made it in May. In May, I made $3,000. Almost all of the business was outsourced. The only thing I actually did was customer service, 2 hours a day, and that's it. I was done. And I'm still able to make a lot of money, but suddenly PayPal just sent me a short email. They said they froze my account, all the money inside. We're talking about like something like $10,000 frozen. And I called them. I said, "What happened? I'm selling. Everything is good. I'm a top-rated seller on eBay. What happened?" Yeah. They told me that it turns out that I was underage when I opened the account. I was 15 or something, which is not allowed on PayPal. Wow. Yeah, but with no warning, nothing, just like that. And after I begged, and I even threatened to sue them. I just had this huge mess, and it was 1 week before I came here, so the timing was terrible. So after they made me go through this hell, I just realized that I can't trust a third party. Like even Amazon, even Udemy, they all, every platform like that, they can change their policy like that, and they can harm the sellers. So I just realized I need to build something of my own. Let's say with Udemy, they suddenly came up with this policy that all of the courses will be only $50, and the people who actually made the courses, they can't price it for $300. Which I don't think it's fair, because if you made a course, you can price it I think it will be ethical to let you price the course the way you want it. And Amazon also, on Kindle, they had this thing that the publishers, I don't know, I don't do Amazon, so I don't know the story, the full story, but I know that suddenly the way they pay the publishers, they changed it in one day. I'm sorry, I'm stuck with the words. It's just someone needs to read now 10% of the book in order to Amazon to pay the seller, the publisher.
Oh, yeah, so they got this free samples now, 10% free samples of every book. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, so it's horrible. Like they can change the policy just like that and change your income just like that. So I think the best thing will be is to build something of your own.
Yeah, in fact, that issue is something that I spoke with the guy I'm working with here, Max, who I might actually get on the podcast as well. Really good businessman. I said, "Oh, what is your thoughts on Udemy?" And he said, if you put a course on that platform, you don't really have a business. It's Udemy's business, and you're just licensing your IP to them, basically. And Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's their system. They own the customers.
Exactly.
And you're kind of at the whims of any changes they want to make. I mean, eBay freezing 10,000 of your money, and Udemy reducing prices. I can totally see why they did that, because it was a bit ridiculous, like a $300 course for something that shouldn't be $300, and then they'd have a flash sale for $10, which is just ridiculous. And I would only ever buy on Udemy when they had a flash sale, and I just knew every few months they'd have a flash sale.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually enjoying also. It was very funny. You could see like a course for $10,000 with a flash sale of 97% discount, which makes it, I don't know, $100. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was quite ridiculous, but I think if you made the course, you own the course, you put the work in it. So
no, I think definitely if you're creating a course that actually had a $300 value or something bigger, then that sucks. And I think a lot of content creators, I know one example called Alan Hill. I'm pretty sure he took all his stuff off after Udemy changed the pricing. But the thing, and I was talking about Udemy with Greg yesterday, Greg Hung. Yeah, we're talking about Udemy, and it's not exclusive with Udemy. So at least you still have that content to resell to other people.
Yeah.
And you can distribute that on multiple platforms. So I guess you've still got that. Yeah, you've still got the product that you create. It's like if you were selling your own product on eBay. Even if eBay messed you around, you'd still have the IP, your own product, But yeah, relying on platforms, I think it's really good. Like I'll probably, if I create a course, use Udemy.
I'm not saying it's bad. Actually, the profits that you can make with such a platform, because they set it up for you. They have the traffic, they have the easy platform that you can just easily upload the course. Or if you compare it to eBay, they have like 150 million buyers every day. So it's so easy to just list something on eBay, and the traffic will be free, and the sales will keep coming. It's easy. It's very easy, and it's also scary to build something that if you just build your business like in Dropship Lifestyle. I think most of the people are very scared because who knows you? Why would someone buy from you if they don't know you? And on eBay you have this the insurance that eBay will refund them if something goes wrong. On Udemy, if you don't like the course, the Udemy will refund you for the money.
You've got that secure layer where the big company is gonna look after you.
So there are also advantages in fitting into a platform, but no, I don't know. I feel like I was traumatized, and I just want to build something of my own. Yeah. So I'm committed to Dropship Lifestyle at the moment.
Okay. And was it an easy choice to go from eBay dropshipping to sort of the Dropship Lifestyle method? Or were you looking at other businesses to get into as well?
No, it's actually completely different. Like the what I do on eBay is different, like 180 degrees to Dropship Lifestyle. Yeah. It's just the same name, dropshipping. But I was actually what happened is I remember when I wanted to take Dropship Lifestyle, I wanted to buy the course so bad, but I didn't have the money. I was a soldier back then, and in Israel, the soldiers get paid like $300 per month. Like you're poor if you're a soldier in Israel. And I really wanted to buy this course, and my father said, "Show me what you want to buy." And I showed him and said, "Okay, I'll buy it for you."
Wow!
Just like that, just like that. He bought the course, and I think the psychological part behind of purchasing something is that if I used my money to buy the course, I'm pretty sure my store would be up and running to this moment. Yeah. But because my father bought it as a gift for me, I just this is the course. I just followed, and I said, what, I'll just do it later. Not fully committed to it. Yeah. So now, after PayPal did this whole thing to me, I just said, okay, I still have Dropship Lifestyle. I can do Dropship Lifestyle. Yeah. So now
so you had it in the back pocket for a while.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then that's so true. And I've heard from a bunch of course creators, and it almost sounds like an excuse to charge lots of money, but it is true that if you charge a lot for the product, and somebody will buy it, they're a lot more likely to succeed, because they're not just gonna buy an expensive product and then not do it. Because they're just the commitment you have to make just to buy it is so much that, you know, nobody's going to waste that opportunity or waste waste what
you gotta
bought.
find a way like to make the money back with this method, because you bought it for so expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
It's actually I think I read something about it in a book by Dan Ariely. It's called Irrational, I think the book is called. He talks about it, how people actually value things by their price. Like say, for example, if both of us will be selling the same thing in let's say we want to sell this computer, and you will sell it for $1,000 and I will sell it for $200,000. Yeah. So when people buy from me, they will be pretty sure that they bought a better product, even though it's the same.
Oh yeah.
It's how human works.
Right. Yeah. And I guess that's part of the whole dropship lifestyle method as well, I guess, there's math behind why you price your products high, but if in anything, if you get into a price war, you're not going to succeed, because the big guys, like the big companies that control supply chain, they have economies of scale, and they're always going to beat you. Like, that's why like nobody's in the online business world is suggesting, or any business world is suggesting, that you try and take on like a supermarket or something. I don't know what the big chains would be in where you are, but you know, back home would be like Woolworths or Coles. Like, don't try, you know, I guess you could do a convenience store and like, you know, take advantage of convenience, but I mean, even with convenience stores, you're pricing it higher, you know?
Yeah, well, the thing is that there will always be someone who's willing to take the lower price. There always, in every area in life, there will always be someone who's willing to make 1 cent out of selling this product. So you can't really compete on the price.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's probably better to rise up. It is better to rise up with that and focus on positioning yourself as a higher value than trying to just compete on price alone.
Yeah, that's what people don't understand, especially when it comes to dropshipping. A lot of people ask me, why don't I source with my method, what I do, what David Wood teaches, is that you should take products from HomeDepot.com and Lowe's.com and other big retailers in the United States and list them. So everybody asks me, why don't you source products from AliExpress for $2 and make huge profit, or you know, just break everybody with their price? And people don't understand that it's not just the price. People buy because they like the convenience of, you know, the fast shipping, the high quality product, and you know, you can source products from AliExpress, but it's a different world. It's if you're going to compete on price, then yes, you can source your products from AliExpress. But if you want to give your customer a whole experience of fast shipping, a good quality of product, then you should choose something. You can compete on price if you want to provide all of those things.
Okay, excellent. And I guess for anyone listening who's like, what are we talking about right now? Dropshipping is a method in which you get the supplier to ship the product. You basically sell the product online, and then but you don't manage the inventory, and you get the supplier to ship the product directly to the customer. And the two methods we've been discussing, which all of this will be linked in the show notes, is there's a method that Snir is involved in, which is a method that's promoted by David Vu, whose course we'll link in the show notes, where you just find suppliers online through, like what you said, Home Depot.
You just source your items from big retailers. You can also do it from Amazon, but everybody is doing it from Amazon, so it's oversaturated by this point.
Yeah. And so you take those products and you just put them on eBay, right? And then optimize them, and eBay feeds you the traffic and you forward the orders, right? And the Dropship Lifestyle method, which is another method that's popular around here for sure. It seems like everyone who's doing dropshipping here is doing it in Chiang Mai. is you have a store, preferably set up on Shopify, and you find suppliers, by calling up and actual suppliers, not retailers online. Exactly. And then you list those products and you drive traffic to your website through paid traffic, and then people buy it, and then the same process, you just forward the orders. So yeah, I guess the quick comparison is it's less expensive to do the eBay stuff because you don't have to buy traffic, or
it's also more convenient.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's another thing to consider that right now, after PayPal did the suspension and banned me basically, I said, okay, my account is very profitable. I can probably sell it for a lot of money because I do make $3,000 per month.
Yeah. And
after you put all the effort and the work in the account, you just realize it's not a true asset. You can't really sell it. It's not a business. It's an account on eBay. Yeah. You can't sell it. Actually, if you sell it, eBay will delete the feedbacks that you have because the feedbacks are referred to you as a seller. And if you sell it to another seller, so he didn't sell all of those things. So the feedback is not true. Yeah, I actually found out about this week. I just found out about it in the forums on the internet.
Well,
because actually it does. Yes. So after all the work you put in, I'm doing almost for 1 year. You don't actually build something. You just have an account on eBay which is worth nothing, even if you're a good seller.
Okay. So on that, how long did it take you to get started with it?
Yeah, that's the thing about eBay dropshipping. A lot of people just lose the motivation in the middle of the way. I'm doing it almost 1 year. And at the beginning it was very, very tough. Like you do make some sales, but you know that they are not enough. You put a lot of work, and comparing to the money that you make, it's nothing. And a lot of people get discouraged by that. Yeah. But if you do stick with it, if you do believe that you can make money out of it, you will make money out of it. It's funny because for me, I was always looking for ways to improve my store. Even outside David Vu's course, I watched more YouTube videos about how to optimize the listings, and I found a lot of other methods that other sellers use because I really wanted this business to succeed for me. Yeah. And it took me a lot of time, almost 1 year, to get to this point that making $3,000 per month, and it wasn't even equal. Like it's not like in the first month I made $100, the second month $200. I had a lot of ups and downs. Some months I made, like I think on February it was the first month that I actually made $10,000 in revenue, which you get about 10% out of it. And for me, I was, oh my God, $10,000 in revenue? That's insane. There's no way I can repeat that. And actually, it's funny because in March, the month after, actually, I did the revenue was reduced. I made only $7,000 in revenue, which is still good, but you're looking for growth, not you understand. Yeah. And actually, on April, suddenly the business grew like it was insane. I don't know what happened. Maybe just the belief that this can work and the fact that I didn't get discouraged. My sales was booming. I made $20,000 in revenue, which I took something like $2,000 in pure profit to my pocket. Yeah. And for me, it also was $20,000 in revenue. That's insane. There's no way I can repeat it. And in May, the last month, I made $3,000 out of it with $30,000 in revenue, almost $40,000 in revenue actually. So it's insane how the things are getting. If you just stick with something, you will be able to achieve amazing results, but you gotta commit, you gotta put the work in, and you gotta believe that this is going to work. Because if you dabble around, if you are not fully committed to something, the results will be the same. Maybe you will get some money, but not as much as you want. So when you stick with something and you choose and you go, you're focused on it, you get the money. You get what you put in the business. It's what you get out of the business.
Awesome. That was good that you had your expectations in check, I guess, rather than thinking, oh yeah, 20 G's, yeah, I'm gonna double it. Which I'm sure some people would get excited by that, but I guess you kept your expectations in check, but still worked really hard, so that's cool. Any final word of advice? If you could say anything to people, what would you say?
No matter what you do, the best way to really get a lot of money out of it is mastering the profession, just learning everything. Even if you took a course, that's not enough. You can literally go from A to Z in this course, but you gotta expand your knowledge about what you do. You gotta watch more YouTube tutorials. You gotta maybe take another course that can help you with that business that you're involved in. You gotta keep learning in every area of what you do. I think this is the key to my success.
That's awesome. All right, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. All right, guys, thanks for listening. If you want to find out more about Snir as well as everything else we just talked about in today's episode, you'll find all of that information and more in the show notes. Just head to christhefreelancer.com/podcast/Snir Alayof. That's christhefreelancer.com/SNIR-ALAYOF. And as always, thanks for listening, and we hope to see you in the next episode for another interview with a digital nomad.